Hello everybody and welcome back to Analog Vernacular. Today we're going to be playing some more Rogue Trader, and we're going to start off today by finishing up a companion quest with Argenta, or at least progressing it, maybe not finishing, but she's going to have more, obviously. Even in stillness, Sister Argenta radiates energy with her dark eyes shining and a slight blush to her cheeks. She is reciting a prayer and looks at you only once she has spoken the final line. Analog Vernacular, greetings. Okay. I'm waiting for you to tell me about your past and to explain the strange words of that cultist on Footfall.
Yes, I'm ready. I would ask only one thing of you, Rogue Trader. If I may, I would like to see the chamber of the sacred warrant and kneel before the relic touched by the Emperor himself. A difficult conversation lies ahead of us, and I wish to pray by the relic before I lay my soul bare.
Of course. Let us go there right away. Argenta nods gratefully. Argenta drops to her knees, her hands making the sign of Aquila. Her eyes are locked on the sweeping signature on the warrant, a seemingly mundane thing, merely a flourish on a piece of paper, unless one knows whose hand left that mark and whose blood is on that paper. If thou seest to flaw in me, smite me. If thou knowest a fault of mine, burn me, with the flames of fury and righteousness. But if thou seest to lighten me, grace me. If thou hearest this plea of mine, bless me, with wrath of fury and of righteousness. Argenta's voice is sonorous, as if made for singing hymns and prayers, but right now she cannot seem to catch her breath. So overwhelmed with emotion is she. For I breathe by the will of thine, for I live by the law of thine. I carry thy word, O Emperor. I bring solace to servants of thine, and ruin to foes of thine, a fate of terror and righteousness. Upon finishing, she closes her eyes and remains silent for a long time with her head raised high. Slowly, like the first licks of flame in a campfire, a smile blossoms on her lips. When Argenta finally opens her eyes, they are alight with uncanny resolution. Rogue Trader, we need to talk, or rather, I need to tell you something. The truth. The truth about how I ended up on Theodora von Valancius' ship, and about the cultists we encountered on Footfall. Okay, I'm listening. Please understand, I couldn't trust you before. I'll tell you my story and you'll see why. Argenta pauses. I'll start at the beginning. It's easier to piece everything together that way. Upon arriving in the Expanse and on Footfall, I found no purpose here, only torment. I wasn't needed. The reliquary I had been assigned to safeguard was already well protected by Reverend Hieronymus's mission, and no one was even trying to defile it. For all its lawlessness, Footfall respects the worship of the Emperor. That was when Lady Theodora, head of your dynasty, appeared. She became an agent of divine will in a way. Argenta falters, searching for the words. It was from her that I learned about a planet recently discovered by her scouts, Salus Prime. For a rogue trader, the planet was of little interest, a feral world away from the convenient warp routes. But for me, learning about its existence was a revelation. I've never heard of such a planet. Does it belong to the von Valancius dynasty? Yes. Now the planet is yours by right, but it's not as simple as that. The warp route leading to it was lost. I will explain in due time. May I continue? The description of Salus Prime was familiar to me. It seemed very similar to a world from an ancient legend, the legend of Saint Argenta and her ship. Her voice grows reverent. Argenta, the living saint, she is my patroness. The Order named me after her. She died millennia ago when heretics caused her ship to fall from the skies. But even those blasphemers could not touch Argenta's ashes or her holy relic, the One Star, for the fallen ship, which now served as the resting place for the saints' remains, would only allow the truly righteous to enter. All others would meet their death. Imagine what I felt when this flash of insight came upon me. The world where Saint Argenta's ship fell was merely a vague legend. No one knew its actual whereabouts, and suddenly I myself, named after the saint, come across this information. I realized at that moment that it was important, and that I must journey to the planet and find the ship. So I asked Reverend Hieronymus to let me go for a time on a personal pilgrimage. I boarded Theodora's ship, and demanded passage to the newly discovered planet Salus Prime. Okay. I imagine Theodora was thrilled with this prospect. Lady Theodora lent her assistance. It was her intention to visit this newly discovered world, and she took me with her. Why did you keep your supposition from Reverend Hieronymus? Surely he could have helped you with the search for the ship and the Saint's remains. I couldn't just come out and tell him. It was a portent revealed to me personally, can't you see? I told Reverend Hieronymus the honest truth that I was going on a personal pilgrimage to embolden my spirit. It really was a pilgrimage. It was as if Saint Argenta herself had shown me the way, commanding me to undertake this trial. If I had found the ship and set foot on its decks, if I had laid my hand on her remains and the relic, it would have been a sign that I truly had been blessed with the Saint's favor. It's understandable. Searching for your destiny, for your place in the world, is a special matter, a personal one. You either succeed at it or you don't. She looks at you somewhat surprised. I thought that I had been called, that finding the ship was my destiny, my place in the world. Perhaps there is something to that. Okay, you mentioned the 1 star. What is it? Apologies, I got so carried away I forgot to explain. The 1 star is the relic kept by Saint Argenta. I belong to the Order Torpedos, and we attach particular significance to holy relics. The 1 star is one of the lost relics of the past, so mysterious that no one even knows what it is exactly. Argenta's hagiography at times calls it a banner, or a set of armor, or a blessed chainsword. One thing is certain, it was a beacon of righteousness, and it was lost with Argenta's death. What happened next? Defeat, Argenta says bitterly. The ship's augurs failed to detect anything of note during orbital scanning. I was expecting this, though. According to the legend, the ship can conceal itself from the naked eye, and only a pilgrim guided by a pure heart can find it. What I didn't expect was an ambush waiting for us on the planet. I landed there with a small unit provided by Theodora. I know Saint Argenta's hagiography by heart. I know all the legends about her. I followed their obscure clues, the descriptions of mountains and rivers for millennia-old tales, and I was certain that I had found the way to the ship, and that's when we were attacked. The words we heard in the heretic shrine on footfall, something about ways, doors, please, addressed to some lord, the edge of daybreak. Argenta is shaking with disgust. They were the same words as those spoken by the cultists who attacked us on Salus Prime. My whole unit perished. All those honest, brave people I had led to search for the relic. It was only by a miracle that I didn't perish along with them. I didn't connect these events at first. The cultists on Footfall, the cultists on Salus Prime, the cultists attacking the ship, and Kunrad's betrayal. What if these are all links in the same chain? What if they've long since infiltrated the ranks of the Von Valancius servants? What if I led those heretics to the sacred planet with my search? Sadly, the only one who might have all those answers is Kunrad, and he escaped. Yes, and I sincerely hope that we will meet him again. That serpent needs to answer a few questions before he is plunged into cleansing flame. There's no need to blame yourself. If the heretics really had wormed their way into the Von Valancius ranks by then, they would have found the planet even without you going there. I doubt it. No one except me was particularly interested in the planet. Kunrad, on the other hand, he sympathized with me when I first came aboard. He helped arrange an audience with Theodora and supported me in my efforts to visit the planet. I never told him plainly why I wanted to go there, but I imagine that vulture must have figured out that it was something important, something related to the holy faith of the Imperium, and what could delight a heretic more than defiling a relic? So how did you manage to escape? And do we know if they got their hands on the relic? Like, you led them to the area, but it doesn't sound like you, got in. And if you didn't get in, then they likely couldn't get in either. So how did you manage to escape? She hangs her head. Theodora's people received the distress call, came to my rescue, and brought me aboard the ship. I barely remember what happened. When they arrived, I was already severely wounded, fighting back with whatever remained of my strength. I think I shouted that we had to go after them, but they didn't listen. They took me to the shuttle and pulled out. After that, it's all blackness. When I came to, we were already in the middle of a warp jump. Theodora had urgent matters to take care of, and she decided that she could clear out the planet at a later time. So that probably wasn't incredibly long ago then. So that's why you didn't trust me before, correct? Yes, Rogue Trader. She looks you in the eye. I saw with my own eyes how a member of your family showed his true colors as a servant of the archenemy. I had already suffered a humiliating defeat at the hands of the cultists, and was afraid of another betrayal. I couldn't be forthright with you, and so I studied you, looking for seeds of corruption or the light of righteousness. And what did you find? A man who stood shoulder to shoulder with me and helped eradicate the cultists on footfall. She smiles, as if reminiscing about a pleasant evening spent in the company of friends, rather than a bloody battle. She loved every second of it. Although my opinion of you started to change even before then, back when you agreed to talk to the orphans at my request. A leader who's willing to honor those who laid down their lives for them, and take care of their children is a leader who inspires trust, and the way you acted in that moment. Do you remember? There was a young man whose grief and confusion had driven him to insolence. You found the words that could comfort him. You didn't punish him, didn't scare him with a show of austerity. Wow, I think our choices there, like, I'm like trying to figure out if there's like a hidden, like, meter for how much these characters like us or dislike us based on our choices, and I feel like there probably is. And our choices in that particular thing could have gone way, way further south. And our choices seem to have gotten us in really good standing with Argenta. You even admitted that you are not all-powerful. It surprised me. I even saw it as weakness at first, but after giving it some thought, I saw the wisdom in it. The way you openly addressed the thoughtless boy does you credit, Rogue Trader. So, just to clarify, you were wounded, so you never found St. Argenta's ship, is that right? Yes. I rushed to Theodora the moment I could walk again, and I insisted on going back to Salus Prime to defend the relic from the heretics. I was told that the warp had destroyed the old route to the planet, and that plotting a new one would take a great deal of time and effort. As if there could be anything more important than protecting the faith and hunting down servants of the archenemy. In any event, the route was lost and all knowledge of it died in the attack on the ship along with the old navigator. But now we have a new lead. The data that we collected in the cultist shrine on Footfall. I don't care what that reprobate we executed said, there must be a way to track them down. Tell me, Rogue Trader, will you help me in this undertaking? Will you help me find this great relic and return it to the people of the Imperium? If it's important to you, I will help. She walks up and places her hand on your shoulder. So be it, Rogue Trader. As I stand here before the warrant, the embodiment of the Emperor's will, marked by his own hand, I vow that I will not relent until the holy relic has been returned and the heretics punished. And may the light be with us both on this path. Cool.
Lord Captain. Lord Captain.
Lord Captain, your presence is welcome. And I wish to apologize for my prior coldness. After our first meeting, I was concerned that you would turn out to be another faithless offshoot of the von Valancius dynasty, like the traitor Conrad. But now I see before me a worthy leader and servant of the Imperium. I am glad to accompany you in your endeavors.
Okay. I would like to discuss Salus Prime and the relic that you want to find.
Of course. My mission is all I can think about.
Tell me about Saint Argenta, whose relic you're searching for.
Gladly. Listen. Long ago, there was a blessed world. Thousands of stars covered the sky there, so bright that its denizens hardly knew the darkness of night. Thousands of rivers nurtured the soil. Thousands of gardens bloomed every spring, and at every moment, thousands of prayers were flying into the clear air, thanking and praising the Emperor. But one day, the people learned the meaning of darkness. Like a storm, accursed heretics who had sold themselves to the archenemy descended upon the planet. Shells flew from the sky that desolated whole cities and burned the gardens and filled the riverbeds with the blood of the faithful. Smoke and soot swallowed the skies and the 1,000 stars that had once shone over the world. Among the handful of survivors was one orphan who had watched all her family die and the garden she'd grown up in burn to ash. But in her heart, she knew the absolute truth. Just these 3 words. The Emperor protects. And knowing that, she never looked away from the black, terrifying, smoke-covered sky. There were no more bright stars to be seen, except for one. The one star. The bright star, the silver star shone in the sky, and when the orphan smiled at it, the one star fell right into her hands. All the faithful in every corner of the continent who saw the trail of the falling star recognized it as an omen and went looking for the place where it landed, and they rallied together. And with the light of the one star, they found their salvation.
So, what is this one star?
If I only knew. Neither the hagiography nor the legends give a straight answer. Classical iconographers believed that the star turned into a banner woven from silver thread, which, when brought onto the battlefield, would shed light that blinded only heretics, but did no harm to the faithful. Most of them portrayed Saint Argenta as a girl carrying this banner.
Okay.
Others think that upon falling from the sky, the one star became a holy chainsword, which Argenta later used to strike down monsters and enemies of the Imperium. In some of the earlier engravings, Argenta is depicted wearing power armor with a silver star on her chest. One theological theory suggests that this armor was, in fact, the relic. Some even think that the one star is actually the ship on which Argenta traveled. I feel that my undertaking will be fulfilled when I find the answer that has eluded the Ecclesiarchy for millennia. I pray we find the way to Salus Prime soon. The ruinous powers must be aligned against us. They stand in the way of faith.
And the girl from the story, that was Saint Argenta?
Yes, that was the beginning of her hagiography. It is known that she lived on a world where heretics staged a terrible insurrection. They wiped out all life on the planet, except those whom Saint Argenta managed to save with the one star, and with the strength of her faith. After that, she traveled between worlds, gripped by turmoil on her ship marked with a silver star, and brought hope to the faithful. Numerous accounts confirm this. Her coming helped people turn the tide of the war and wipe away corruption before the Imperium's main forces even arrived. Millions of people owed their lives to her, but the heretics, having realized their imminent defeat, sent the remnants of their forces after the ship with the silver star. It fell from the skies onto an obscure world. There are no definitive records of how old Argenta was at the time. In some chronicles, she's even called the Child Saint, but their credibility is questionable. Either way, she didn't live long, but she left a bright trail in her wake, like a falling star.
Okay, now remind me of our mission.
To find the way to the planet called Salus Prime. Saint Argenta is my patroness, and that is where her fallen ship is. And it must also be the resting place of her great relic, the One Star. One day we will reach Salus Prime, and stand before the gates of Saint Argenta's ship. I know it. I believe.
Now that we trust each other a little bit more, are you ready to tell me more about you? Oh,
Of course.
Picked the wrong one.
If such is the rogue trader's wish, although there isn't much I can tell, I am the Emperor's daughter and his servant. What else is there to know?
Where do you hail from?
Now that I can tell you, I come from everywhere and nowhere. I am the child of officers of the Imperial Guard. I was born in the hold of a warship. Grew up following my parents' deployments from one planet to another, and lost my family in the flames of a righteous war. My memory is like wafts of smoke over a still battlefield. The gray of a ship's plating, the strict cadence of life in military camps. My mother's uniform. I loved looking at it. Then, that battle, the rumbling, the shouting, and the soot, the screams of soldiers burning alive, and the gold of the regiment's Aquila, untouched by soot or blood, the last unsullied piece of a world that was going mad. That was my last memory of my mother, and of my former life, before the Progenium and the novitiate, before my trials, before the vows.
So that golden shard you carry with you?
My own relic. It's the regiment's Aquila, or rather, the fragment that survived the attack, the explosions, and the fire. For me, it's a reminder that purity and radiance can be preserved, even in the heart of darkness.
How did you become one of the Adeptus Auroritas?
Become. It's such a strange word for it. It seems right, but is that how one talks about their destiny? If you're asking about the path itself, that's easy enough to answer. First, like many other orphans, I endured the Progenium. Those years were rough, but I remember the hardship fondly. Few things can compare with the feeling of satisfaction from a past trial, even if it leaves your body aching from exhaustion or your soul wincing in pain. I was one of the best among my peers, and I was selected for the novitiate in the ranks of the Adeptus Auroritas. When the hour came, I passed the trials and took my vows. The most joyous day of my life. The Emperor's light has always been with me, but to accept it with all your heart, to utter the oaths, that is a rapture like no other.
I mean, after that comment, seems like question number 4 over here is answered. Have you ever wished for a different lot in life? I think her answer's gonna be no.
Have I ever... But that would be shameful weakness, almost heresy. Of course not. I was born for this. I live by the Emperor's will, and in his light, I myself am the light. I must be the light. For myself, and for those who ask for my protection.
Spoken like a true warrior nun.
I was chosen to serve. But beyond that, I won't deny it. Few things elate me as much as the thought that the heretic felled by my shot will never again orphan a child.
All right, well, thank you for your candor.
It is my pleasure to be candid.
Okay. Hello, my guild beauty. How are you doing?
Words cannot describe how boring the bridge is without our stimulating conversations.
Well, I will talk to you again later then, my guild queen.
I have enjoyed your company. Thank you for the conversation.
Nothing gets me going quite like pale, clawed red-eyed Gill Queen. Who needs a normie when you can have a fish girl? I don't know what's wrong with me. You know what? I need to go in here. Okay, so engine. And then let's see, this gives us 90% hit chance, 5% critical chance, so just, yep. That's better than what we've got there. And then I guess these we just send to cargo, right? There's no reason to keep hold of these, so. Okay. I would like to know more about the merchant fleet's operations in the Koronus Expanse. For the most part, all the Expanse has is fleets of different organizations and small flotillas of merchant ships. Uninterrupted communication between worlds is a matter of life and death for many outposts of humanity, so even in this dark corner of the Imperium there are chartists and ships assigned to the various adeptus. Alas, the Expanse has next to no stable trade routes, so the job can be precarious at times. Then again, no one is more intimately familiar with the hardships of local commerce than a rogue trader. Okay, where do you source the components you sell? Are you asking me to disclose our suppliers to you? Thorfast laughs airily. Frankly, they come from both everywhere and nowhere. We get our wares either from lucky voidsmen who stumble upon an abandoned or dilapidated ship somewhere in a neighboring system, or from unlucky ones whose sorry tub arrives on footfall in such a state that it's easier to take her apart than to restore her. Okay. We don't have anything for you right now. Can't even get your reputation up based on what we can sell ya. Okay, so here's a dead world. Can we actually use an extractum? I guess not. I mean, we've received some extractums, but I have no idea what to do with them yet. I'm sure that we'll find out soon. Okay, still not allowed to go there. So there's nothing left to do in this system right now, right? So who do I need to talk to move on?
Lord Captain. Lord Captain.
Maybe I get in my chair? How do I leave? Can we talk to Uwe? Okay, helmsman. Okay, let's look at, let's see. Chapter 2. The Von Valancius Protectorate has been destabilized. Yep. Restore the operation of the administrative apparatus on Dragonus. Yeah, what do I do to get there, though? Yeah, I'd give you orders if I knew how. Okay, is there something I'm missing on the map itself? Oh, why is there a loading screen between these? I can't have both of them loaded at the same time. Not that big of a deal. I might have to look this up. I really don't know how to leave. Okay, journal's useless in this case. I'm gonna have to look it up, I really don't know. Give me a minute. Alright, I'm back, and now I want all of you to let me know, those of you who are playing yourselves. Those of you who aren't watching anybody else's playthrough, you just played it blind. Did you know how to do this? Did you figure this out on your own? Because apparently it's this right here. I didn't even know that was a button I could push. The game certainly didn't tell me. Someone please tell me I'm not the only one who didn't find this. Or didn't immediately think this thing was what we needed to do. Am I stupid? Maybe I'm stupid. All I'm saying is that the game could have pointed this out the second we opened this map after we triggered that thing, especially since this is something we have never used. In 30 hours of playing this game, this hasn't been used yet. Why would anybody just you know what? I don't even know why I'm asking, because the internet's just gonna be like, you're just dumb, dude. Get good, bro. And I'm gonna be like, you know what? Doesn't matter. The game could have presented that to us. That's all I'm saying. Okay. See, this should have popped up before we entered this map, and it should have said, hey, you want to get warp routes? Push this button, and then it would go to this. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Fuckers. Oh, I'm pissed. Okay, anyway. Travel between systems is fraught with mortal peril and takes place in another dimension known as the warp. Only a navigator can plot a course through the warp to other star systems. Click the circular button at the bottom of the screen to have the ship's navigator chart new routes to the system you have selected. Okay, that button right there. To initiate travel, left mouse button on a system, press warp travel button. A route's color is an indication of its danger level. Green routes are the absolute safest. Yellow routes signal the unpredictable events can occur during the jump. Orange routes denote a high probability of the ship coming under attack, even in the warp. Red routes are a sure sign that the ship will be assaulted by hostile forces during travel. The ship's navigator can make a route safer by spending points of navigator's insight, which can be acquired by discovering and scanning new systems throughout the Koronus Expanse. Okay. Ooh, it's a big map. Okay, gotcha. That scans. Oh, wow. Sato's tomb. Okay, special route. Standard scanning could not reveal a route to the selected system, but you can still get there by spending points of Navigator's Insight to plot a guaranteed direct path. Okay, click left mouse button on the system and use Navigator's Insight to chart a course. Cradle, Platinum Stelos, Speculo, Omicron. To the Imperium? Can we actually go to the Imperium? Alright, well, since this one's green, this one seems like a good place to visit first, right? Route is safe. An uncharted system. Okay. I kind of just wanted to go straight to the system map. Is that an option? We'll have to look for that closer, see if there's a way to go straight to the system map, because there's no reason for us to go back to the bridge to then go to the map, you know what I mean? We could skip a couple load screens here. Oh, maybe I'm just supposed to push this? Okay, visit. I mean, that's a way to do it, I guess. Wasn't expecting that to be a thing, but here we are. Okay, space dust, pirates. Okay, so when we go into those red areas, do we immediately go into a fight? So, I'm gonna admit something. This chapter has been a little bit overwhelming. I feel like Footfall wasn't the most fun area we've found so far. I've been a little bit overwhelmed, especially with getting to the level 16 and getting completely new skill trees and stuff, and not knowing how to build characters and things, but it doesn't mean I'm not enjoying the game. So if you notice that I have a little bit of frustration every once in a while, just know that that's what's going on. It's not, like, I'm still enjoying the game though. But, yeah, there's just a lot of stuff happening right now. Okay, that's the charge, right? No? No, that's the lance weapon.
With the force of a supernova!
Okay, looks like we got through the shields, which is good. Torpedo.
Torpedoes away!
You have fired a torpedo salvo. They will appear next turn in the priority order. Once their turn begins, you will be able to direct them. Your own torpedoes can pass through the space occupied by your flagship without damaging it. That's good to know, actually. As soon as torpedoes reach a cell adjacent to an enemy, they explode. Adjacent to an enemy, huh? Okay. Enemy ships can attack your torpedoes and destroy them before they reach their target. One well-placed shot destroys one torpedo in a salvo. And then, if we keep going... Alright, we were able to fire them all off. Okay, not bad. And I don't know if there's anything we can really do with these people at this point. Flagship flies in a straight line. Can only be used during the acceleration phase. So since we used all of our acceleration, we can't use it anymore. Ooh, big damage too. Okay. Ooh, okay. Yep. We'll be able to do both.
Lance batteries! Volley!
Huge. Alright, we did just enough damage. We took a tiny bit of damage, but not much. 48 scrap and ancient machinery. So I'm assuming the map won't always show us where pirates are, right? Like sometimes we're just gonna be surprised by a fight. The steel, oh. Planet exploration and mining. Planets in the Koronus Expanse are teeming with valuable resources. Before these resources can be harvested, however, an extractium needs to be set up on the world's surface. Scan the planet, then select the icon of the resource you are interested in to deploy an extractium. Click Accept to confirm your choice. You can see how many extractiums you have available in the bottom right corner of the screen. Resources are required to develop colonies and complete contracts. You can also use them to trade with various factions. Man, we haven't even touched this game yet, have we? Wow, because we haven't even gotten contracts yet. New contracts are now available in the journal. Contracts are requests issued by your colonies. By fulfilling them, you can obtain resources, increase your profit factor, or receive unique items. Sometimes fulfilling contracts offered by one colony can affect the productivity of another colony. Of other colonies? I think that's a typo. Fulfilling contracts costs a certain amount of resources or a share of your profit factor. Okay, so is this how we can actually lose our total profit factor? A contract's description contains both the costs associated with it and the reward you will receive. You can fulfill a contract by selecting it in the journal and clicking Complete Contract. Can I look at my journal right now? I can. Okay. So we give them to Xenotech to get +3 profit factor. Gotcha. Okay. How do we get more extractums? Sato's tomb. Okay. Well, we'll start getting plasteel. Imperium cartographers and chroniclers know this place well. Long ago, the planet was a prosperous outpost, capable of eclipsing even footfall. There used to be a Cyclopean tomb station on its orbit, the final resting place of Cornelius Sato, one of the discoverers of the Koronus Expanse. The tomb gave it its name to the entire system. However, about 400 years ago, an unknown cosmic body rammed into the station, causing it to collapse onto the planet. Not only did the catastrophe kill the settlers, it also made the world uninhabitable for centuries. The crater formed by the station's impact can still be observed from orbit. Sato's tomb became a sepulcher for the entire planet. This sort of place is neither life nor loot, but knowing the nasty tricks that life can pull is a treasure in its own right. Is that it? There's nothing to do there? Oh, weird. Okay. Okay, so space dust, it looks like, is basically space loot. Trophies, we got fuel. Okay, some more fuel. And I think we're done then, right? There's nothing else here. Okay. Okay, so this won't cost insight from where we're at, right? Okay. New path to Avioris. And it's yellow. I wish to inform you that the sacred rituals addressed to the spirit of the ship have been performed. The techno-liturgy and the rite of the machine blessing ended with a data meditation in order to comprehend the nature of the miracle sent down by the Omnissiah. Acquisition of sacred knowledge has not been recorded. How the spirit of the void ship was able to call upon the power of the machine god and activate the warp drive remains an unknown, yet during my meditative ritual, the Omnissiah gave me an equally valuable revelation. The sacred spirit that lives in the bowels of the ship's mechanisms differs from other analogous forms. This spirit holds a unique power that cannot be called anything less than a blessing of the machine god. Okay, so what does this mean? Hypothesis. In extremis, the ship's spirit is capable of making unpredictable calculations and actions. It is impossible to predict how it will behave in any given situation, but I believe the spirit is currently showing obedience. At least for now. I recommend that we continue monitoring the ship and be prepared for new manifestations. Okay, what is it you were hoping to find? When the ship's warp engine was filled with the motive force despite the mass of computational errors, a true technological miracle was achieved. No doubt it was the grace of the Omnissiah, but no such occurrences have been described in the catalog before. Hoping to gain sacred knowledge of the nature of what happened, I embarked on blessed research and prayer. The report is received. Thank you, Pascal. The Omnissiah knows all, comprehends all. Okay. Lord Captain, emergency report. The augurs have detected several void ships slowly encircling us. Our requests for this pursuit to cease have been completely ignored, but an unmanned vessel has been dispatched in our direction, broadcasting only 2 words, gift and Haydari. So it has to do with Jay, huh? Is this a good gift or a bad gift? Jay, what's going on here? Oh, Exalted One, incinerate these void jackals. What does it mean? Jay's agitated voice comes on the Vox channel. Shireen, this whole thing stinks worse than a dead Grox, and it's also eerily similar to how Caspalican agents operate. With your permission, I would like to see what kind of gift those tight-lipped ashmags have sent me. Okay, so a Grox is a large, semi-domesticated reptile. Grox are most commonly bred as livestock or used as beasts of burden. The Vox Master patiently awaits your instructions, flipping switches and occasionally emitting crackling static from her integrated Vox system. What ships are they? A frigate and 4 raiders, Lord Captain. No identifying marks, so they're probably pirates. Although the Augur Master reports that they are well coordinated, more so than your typical void rabble. Okay. I wish to contact the flagship. Apologies, Lord Captain. Our attempted calls to the unknown pursuer ships are being automatically relayed to the beacon on the pilotless vessel. Huh. I'm going to allow it on. Might be a mistake. Order the Voidborn to bring the package aboard. It will be done, Lord Captain. A shuttle carrying a retrieval team and bomb disposal specialists is already en route. Several tense hours go by, all the while Jay Haydari paces back and forth across the captain's bridge, but at the first shriek of the sirens announcing the shuttle's return, she rushes down to the lower decks. Kor, no. Jay's outburst blares from the comm bead, momentarily deafening you, and a third of the officers on the bridge listen on the Vox channel. No, no, no. Why would the Exalted One doom so kind-hearted a person to such a fate? Uh-oh, what happened to Kor? What void beast has done this to you? The package was one of her friends? One of the twins. The Voxcaster picks up a quiet sob, and the whining screech of an augment on the bulkhead's panel, the crunching of metal fingers, and Jay cuts the Vox connection. Lord Captain, the returning Voidborn report that the package for Jay Haydari was the head of a young man. Vigdis typed swiftly at the cogitator keys. According to our archives, he was a member of her trade network on Footfall. The deceased is Trickster Kor, one of the Trickster twins who engage in suspect commercial activity on the station's asteroids with Mistress Haydari. Santa comes over the line, the siren blares again, and the Vox Master turns to you. We have finally been alerted to an incoming Vox transmission. My officers are standing by to connect you to the unidentified parties. Let's see. Load the artillery and allow the ships to draw closer, then connect me. It will be done, Lord Captain. A minute later, the Vox line crackles with static, followed by a rough, drunken voice. Albeit, says Lordliness Rogue Trader von Throne-damned Valancius. I humbly tug my forelock to you, my lord. We mean no offense, our convoy is but a mark of respect to your holy self. You wouldn't have stopped to talk to us, would you, if we hadn't given your officers a good scare, eh? Oh, where are my manners? I forgot to introduce myself, Toto the Vulture at your most noble service. Let's see. He's disrespected us, so... So you admit you were threatening a rogue trader, and yet you're not the least bit afraid? Throne take me, could a lowly commoner like me pose any threat to your lord traiterness? Not in a million years. I'm a cowardly lad, I swear on my mother's life. It's just my boss is a pretty important man in the Expanse, and I'm his envoy, if you like, and they say that honest folk don't go around killing envoys. A little bird told my boss that you've got rats on your ship. We're the best rat catchers this side of the Maw, your trader ship. And we're ready to take that problem right off your hands. All you have to do is put Jay Haydari on a pod and send her straight to the coordinates we'll give you. My boss has been after her a while, and he's generous to those who help him. You're no vulture, Toto. You're the worst kind of ashmag. A voice just as tough as Toto the Vulture's bursts on the Vox channel. Tell me, you son of a Grox and Void Jackal, who sent you? And the critter runs right into the trap. The Vulture chuckles hoarsely. I'm afraid I can't reveal his name. 57%, huh? Yeah, I'm not doing that. You threaten my retinue, you threaten me. So the answer's no then. That's probably for the best, your lordliness. I make a bad negotiator, but a damn fine pirate. Before the Vox transmission cuts off, you hear a rasping shout. Falco says hello, Jay Haydari, and screw you. Alright, let's go kill him. Let's destroy them. Dari's already over here getting us in trouble. Okay, so you sent out a torpedo. They've launched torpedoes, however, you can destroy them before they reach you. And we've seen that they can be pretty effective, so... They are always fired in salvos, and they do not have shields or hull integrity. Every attack that hits a salvo destroys 1 torpedo per shot. And so they have multiple torpedoes in them, huh? Okay. From here on out, you may encounter clusters of small ships that follow the same rules in combat as torpedoes. Okay. We're gonna put our own out. That's only gonna take care of 1? Is that true? I guess we should have done something that has multiple shots. So like this will do 2 shots. That still only gets rid of 1? Okay, maybe one of them missed, and that's what happened. Alright, this guy's gonna probably be able to hurt us. Oh my god. This is bad. Can we win this? For fuck's sake, dude. Oh no. We're not gonna be able to win this. There's no way. How does that work? So you're gonna turn all the way around? Okay, and it uses up most of your movement. Yeah, we're done for, dude.
Salvo!
I guess I shouldn't have done that, because I kind of like covered my weak side. Alright, we're about to game over. So I'm guessing that's supposed to be difficult. Like, they want you to, try and talk your way out of it. Or make a counteroffer or something. I don't want to, though. Okay, if you hold the spacebar, things will go a little faster. Okay, that only works on one that was sent out on a previous turn. Okay. Target point unlimited range. Is it actually unlimited range? I don't think so. Does it have to go in a straight line? Okay, that's a weird way to phrase it when it's clearly a limited range. It's probably a limited range within whatever movement you still have left. I think that's what it's supposed to be. We're not set up really well for this. We're really not.
Fire at will. All hands, prepare for acceleration.
I just want to see how much damage we can do to this main ship. Man, we can't even get through his...
Let them taste our fury.
Like, we barely got through his shields.
Keep up the pressure. Engage the engines.
I don't get it. Is that the only square I can use? What are you? I don't get... Oh, that's the ram. That's not the one I... This is... No? No, where did it go? It's that! It's that one! Damn it. Alright, so if we... I mean, we're gonna die again, I think, but... So you have to go to the furthest node? I guess you do. Okay, that thing had more range than I thought it would. Reminder, this is our third space fight. They're really throwing it at us with this one.
Steel your hearts!
I don't know why you're doing that. He's covering his bases pretty good.
Let the void sort them out. With the force of a supernova.
It's not like it matters we're dead. Man, even those are gonna take a long time to take down. So like even if we focus on the smaller ships to try and get like less damage output out there, like, I don't know, man. Okay, so you have to have a target to do the ram.
Helmsman, take us in.
Why not? Shoot it, bro. What's your deal? He's got really good shields on this side. I was hoping he couldn't reach. Alright, we're way over time. I might try this one more time, but we may actually have to reload and try something different, because this isn't working. There's a chance. If we're smart about it, I think we can make it through this. This is gonna be difficult, though, and being a completely new system, I don't know all the best strategies, but like, they were using really nice strategies of making sure that their big ship was always showing us like the side that had their shields up more, so maybe we need to do more of that. But either way, I need to end the episode, so thank you all for being here. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I guess we'll try this again. So yeah, see you in the next one. Bye.
I'd like to give a very special shout out to my patron supporters: Darren York, ZTD, Knife Namaste, Kyle the Monarch, Chris Murphy, JW, Quinless, Vlado101, Andy Ford, Bruce Wizzle, Black Mamba 90, Eureka Gecko, A Happy Fat Panda, Turkeyfoot 27, Pedo Kuto, Shadow Raven, and Nadia N. If you would also like to join this tier or any others, check out my memberships or my Patreon in the description down below.